It's gonna be one of those mornings, isn't it? I had Had to restart the stream 3 times because for some reason Streamlabs wasn't connecting to YouTube. And then before that, I don't know what happened. My wife was standing here with me, and I turned everything on, and like the HDR on my PlayStation was like the character looked really weird, so I just had to turn HDR off on my PlayStation. Probably need to restart the whole thing, but for some reason the HDR was looking really weird this morning, so I just turned it off. And my allergies are killing me. And I forgot to get allergy medicine yesterday. You know something I haven't done is what's up, Gary, JD, everybody else? Good morning, good morning. I have never checked the exchange to see if there's anything I want to buy. I do like that Tanto, but I would want there to be a matching. Yeah, as a matter of fact, let me step out really quick and remind Chris, because I don't think we put it down on our list. We totally went right by the pharmacy yesterday and forgot to buy it. Because we had to get wood yesterday for her chicken coop project. And then we were going to go get a stepladder today, and her sister came by last night, and she's got a little pawn shop, and she's like, "Oh, I have a stepladder for sale." So now we're not going to get a stepladder today because her sister's going to bring us one. But I was like, as soon as I wrap up the stream today, we've got to go to the. I need to go to the pharmacy and get some loratadine. Okay. Thank you. Come again. How close am I? I don't need my horse. What's up? I don't know where your phone is. Do you want me to? My phone's charged. Charging. Oh, he's not gonna die. He's a big boy. Oh shit, is he running? He's gonna deny my assassination. Oh no. I'm gonna break his armor down first. Will he still deny my assassination? Oh, after the fact? Shit. Yeah, he'll still deny it even afterwards. He's just too big. Oh my goodness. Okay. Do I care about the rest of the camp? I mean, there's only like one dude left.
There's not much to you.
Explosives. I should be careful. Maybe I can use these explosives.
Well, let's loot first. Oh, I can tag these.
Blessed thanks to you, kind soul. You saved me from great pain.
Tell me what happened.
The last I remember, I was preaching in a small village not far from here. There were two men talking in loud voices. One of them was that terrible brute. The next thing I knew, I was knocked out.
What did the man look like?
I did not see him, but the villagers called him Sen.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's keep looking for goodies. Don't know that I can get in there. Set.
What? You are going to
Can I not blow those up? They're not reds, so I'm guessing not. Oh, there's more camp down here. I mean, while I'm here. I missed. Oh, allergies are wonderful. Okay, I think we're done here. Oh, there's something at the top. I think we've cleared this place. The Pirate Alliance. Northern coast of Fukuchiyama in Tamba. Oh, somewhere over here. Northern coast in the Yura fishing village of... Well, I haven't discovered a fishing village yet. So obviously I need to go here. And go north to find a fishing village. Someone was just I just saw a comment that's complaining on YouTube. These lives are so frequent and so long, I'm never going to catch up. I don't see how that's a bad thing. I want it to be like that. I want you to be saturated so that you can never catch up. That way there's always something for you to watch. I'm not live nearly as frequently. Like some of these guys are live for 12 hours a day.
Challenging me.
Alright, I think we need to go... I said north to find a fishing village. Johnny Hansen coming in with a note, 249 super chat. What's up, Ren? What's up, Johnny? Johnny. Here's Johnny. Thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate the support. My allergies, thank you. I might sneeze in a few minutes just for you, sir. Just as a way of saying thanks. In all seriousness, no, though. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. I'm not gonna be able to jump up there. What's up, Gustav? What's up, Joran? Everybody joining in for the first time. It is gonna be a sniffly, sneezy, stuffy morning this morning, everybody. So I'm apologizing in advance. As Gary said, allergy season is upon us. He's been chain sneezing all week, and I forgot to get my meds yesterday, and this morning has been a little gnarly. But we are pushing on. That can't be the fishing village. It's got to be something up in here. Let's... Some leaked screenshots just dropped yesterday of the supposed, and if they are leaked screenshots, it looks really amazing. I try not to put too much stock in things when they are leaked or rumored, but on April 19th, we're getting a look at Respawn has an upcoming turn-based Star Wars RTS. So think Baldur's Gate 3, but Star Wars. And I am just like, oh my god! I'm gonna lose my shit. And sometime during today's stream, we're gonna take a look at RuneScape has an upcoming co-op survival game dropping into early access here. And I shared it with my brother last night, and he is just like losing his mind. He loves RuneScape. And the new game looks really amazing. So we're going to take a look at that trailer and gameplay today at some point during the stream, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I can't wait. We got a bunch of reveals happening this month. I think this map is equal in size if you take the time to clear it, Gary. I do think this map is pretty equal in size to Valhalla. What do you mean by a good canon game, Sherrard? It's the word canon that I'm wondering about. Do you mean like set during the films?
The priest said Sen would be here. This place seems peaceful. Hard to believe there's a pirate here.
Remember that priest who visited? I saw some pirates drag him away. I saw that too. Then tried to stop him.
With known characters? Yeah, that makes sense. Let me go double check. I think it even says... Hang on. I think it's a Clone Wars game, like a Clone Wars era game. I know I saw like Boba Fett. I think it was Boba Fett. Again, I don't like sharing like rumors and stuff on my channel, so I'm not gonna show the screenshots. If I could find them again, they were on Facebook this morning. I saw the screenshots yesterday too. It's set 2 years after Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge. Oh no, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Never mind. The leaked images appear to reveal a new tactical Star Wars game developed by Respawn and Bit Reactor, showing turn-based combat with Mandalorians resembling XCOM gameplay, set to be officially revealed on April 19th. Clone Troopers. So, it appears it's going to be set in the Clone Wars timeline. I do, Gustav. I do. So, for those in chat who didn't see Gustav's comment, he asked, do you play and stream on your PS5, but do you also have another screen with a laptop on? So the way I do it, I have, one of these days I should probably just do, I haven't done like a, this is my office, because my office doesn't look cool. Yes, I have nice equipment, but my office, I've shared this stuff with people before. Like, it's like a concrete bunker. Like, it's just, like, there's no paint on the wall. The paint's peeling off the wall. Like, it's just concrete block with a green screen. It's not been painted. I literally just have a light. There's a light hanging out of the roof ceiling. There's no light fixture. It's just a bulb hanging out of a fixture. Not even a fixture, sorry. It's just like there's a mount bracket and wire coming straight down, and there's just a bulb hanging from the wire, you know. I have a tarp over the window here to keep the sunlight out, and the other side of the window is just, it's foam and cardboard just to block that window off so bugs don't get in and to try to keep the sunlight out. It's not a nice office. It's literally just a place for me to have my, I'm like streaming from a Fallout bunker. But it's air conditioned, and I have 2 internet connections, and I have a bed in here, and nice chairs. But here's what I do. I have I have my monitor here, right? And then right over here, I have my stream box, which is an 8-year-old laptop. Over here is my gaming, like, I can even show this. Like, here's my desk. There is the gaming laptop. There's the tarped off window. It's not even a tarp. This is like it's material. I'm blanking on the word, cloth. And then right here is the stream box. So that's the stream box that I use. And then this is all the chaos of like modems, and there's the PS5, a light. The Xbox is right there. There's like a big screen TV and Christina's laptop and her drawing tablet and stuff. So I have a capture card, a switcher, and the streaming box, which is my old laptop. So the way everything works is I have my PS5, my gaming PC, and my Xbox Series X all run to a switcher. And that switcher is controlled with a remote, which can have up to 5 connections on it. I only have 3. The switcher is connected to my capture card. So, and the capture card is connected to the laptop. So I tell the capture card what I want it to run to the PC by clicking this button. I say I want the Xbox to run to the switcher, or excuse me, I want the Xbox to run to the capture card. I want the PS5 to run to the capture card. I want the gaming PC to run to the capture card. So those are all running to the capture card. Here on my monitor, I'm running a window off of this box, which is my capture card window. So I just have that maximized, so it takes up the full monitor, and it's essentially just a window that's it's showing me the capture of the capture card. And then behind that window is like Google Chrome and all my other windows that are open on this box. So that's how I play. So this is open, and what I see on this, you're not gonna be able to see because of the glaring light. This right here is by Streamlabs. So like right there, that's all of your guys' chat. That's your chat. And this shows me my screen and all the stats of the stream down here, volume levels and everything else. And this is all of your guys' chat showing up right there. So that's what I see over here. And then here's the game screen. And then occasionally, like if I'm going to go look something up, I tab over to Google Chrome and I'm here looking at everything on Google Chrome. So yeah, that's how you do it. Now, back in the day, when I first got going, I didn't have a second laptop. I didn't have a PS5, and I didn't have a capture card. So what I did in the early, like the first 2 years of streaming, I had I just literally had, so Xbox and PlayStation both have their own app that you can have on your computer. So you could stream your gameplay from your PS4, or PS5, or Xbox, whatever. And this is what I used to do with the PS4 and my Xbox. I would stream the gameplay from the machine to my monitor, and I would have that app window open full screen, and I would capture that app window with Streamlabs and broadcast that. However, that doesn't give you native gameplay. That gives you a reduced, at least with the previous machines, like the PS4 would only stream 1280 by 720 to its native app. You couldn't stream 1920 by 1080. So if you go back far enough on my channel and look at like my Red Dead Redemption 2 streams from several years ago as an example, those were streamed in 1280 by 720 resolution because I couldn't stream that at 1920 by 1080 because I was capturing the PS4 app, which I cannot remember the name of it now. It's like PS4 Now or PS4 Play, something like that. And that's how you do it on a budget. Oh yeah, I have no cord management, dude. And it's actually right now because I have a little handheld vacuum that I bought at the beginning of the year. I haven't vacuumed in like 2 months, and there's like cobwebs and dust everywhere. I am horrible about my cable stuff. Which is also why I have to be very careful of the cats that come in here because they'll jump up on that desk and then it's not good. We don't care about this office that much. It's literally, we moved here because it was so cheap that it was almost free for us to buy. And it has allowed us to get to a very cool place financially in our early 40s. We're in our mid 40s now, but I don't really care. Like, I really don't give a shit that this doesn't have paint. Like, I don't care. No one sees it. Like, I don't care that there's paint flaking off of the concrete cinder block wall. I don't give a shit. It's a green screen. No one's ever going to see it. I don't care that there's just a light hanging out of a fixture. I don't care. No one's ever going to see it. And neither one of us cares because every single penny that we save buys a second property. So it's not rocket science. So I literally just it's functional, and that's all I care about. As long as I have a functioning office and it's a functioning, And even if you, this is the funny thing, like some people don't realize what it took to get here. Like when we first moved here, there was not, I did not have um, a second internet connection, and the main internet connection would go down, and still does go down occasionally. But there was no secondary internet, so I would often stream on the back of my. I would use a mobile hotspot on my phone. I would on 3G. I could occasionally get 4G. It just depends on the weather. But now it's 4G most of the time. But there are times during the first year of streaming when my internet would go out, and I would literally just turn on my phone and stream off the mobile hotspot, and worry about the data caps later. You do what it takes. Buy low, sell high. This place will never get sold, Gary. This was we bought this off of my mother-in-law. So this is a never get sold house. This is a stays in the family house. So this place never gets sold, but this place is our like Superman's base. You know what I mean? Like his home base. Like it's always there. So wherever we go after this place is always here, so that if you ever need to go back, or we may rent this place out in the future, but we will never sell it. This is the always in the family home.
Another day comes and goes.
Hey, who are you? You're not here to steal our food from Sen, are you? Go away.
Fortress of Solitude. That's the word I was looking for. The phrase I was looking for. Thank you. It's the Fortress of Solitude. Adam Fall, Mexico edition.
Say, don't you think there's something below the water? Near that boat? Is that a fish?
I saw Sen throw something in the water. Could that be it?
He did throw something in the water over there. It's the Bat Cave. I mean, most of this stuff, if for anybody who watches the Homestead channel, this stuff is like, we do show off things on the Homestead channel to a greater degree. Like, and I've been mocked because people are like, "Oh my God, your place looks like absolute meh," and it's like, it's paid for. I don't care what it looks like. Like, it's fucking paid for. Is yours paid for? I doubt it. Most people are running mortgages, or they're renting. That is glowing, but I can't. Oh, there it is.
Who threw those weapons into the sea?
Okay, so like, Gary, I don't know what part of Ireland you're in, but you were just saying a 2-bedroom home here has gone beyond 400 grand. It's the same in most of the world, U.S. and Canada as examples. The cost of living is ridiculous. When my brother was, this has been 2 or maybe 3 years ago, my brother and I were talking about, because they have a big ranch. And he was like, well, what if you guys did like a tiny home here on the ranch? And so we started looking at the costs to do like a tiny home. Just to do like a tiny home there would cost around $30,000 to $40,000 just to set it up. Just to set up a tiny home was $30,000 to $40,000. And I'm looking at that going, that's 4 times what it took us to set up this place. Oh yeah, you're in Dublin, but that's fine. It's like that everywhere. Mortgages are insane with interest rates. I think Bubbaloni, I don't think Bubbaloni is here this morning, but he was talking about the other day, like in Denver as an example, rent for most people now is 40%. 40% of their paycheck goes towards rent. 40%. Think about that for a minute. Half of your money is gone to rent. Then the government takes 25% for taxes. 65% of your, Gustav says here in Brazil it's something like 70%, excuse me. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So when my brother and I were talking about this, he was like, "Come set up a tiny home." Well, setting up a tiny home is $30,000 to $40,000, right? Then he's like, "Well, hey, this place just came up for sale down the road from our ranch," and he sends me a link, and it's a nice piece of property, and it's got a few acres, and it's like it's $175,000, and I'm like, I'm not spending $175,000. Why? Who in their right mind? I'm not doing that. Are you kidding me? That would be stupid. This is paid for. Like, not that he was promoting me. He was just like, "Hey, this place is for sale down the road." Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And I was like, I'm not spending $175,000 on something like that. First and foremost, I don't have that in cash. And second of all, I refuse to do a mortgage. No way am I ever going to do a mortgage. That shit is ball and chain for the next 40 years of your life. You break a leg, bank takes your house. You get sick, cancer, bank comes and take your house. No, 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 no. No, I don't. Chris and I are very debt averse. Very debt averse. But that's the thing, like, yeah, $400,000. I think that's the average cost right now in the U.S., if I'm not mistaken, Gary. I think it's like $400,000, $500,000 is the average home mortgage for like a 2 to 3 bedroom home. And it's like, for most people, they're putting a 30 to 40 year mortgage. 30 to 40 years is what they expect to be paying off that house. Why? Like, I'm not wealthy, but I will say this, like, this year we moved here and 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago we moved here. Our anniversary here was like February, I think. So we moved here 3 years ago. We paid cash for the home, and then we paid cash to furnish it because it was completely empty. We paid cash to renovate a bunch of stuff. So, we spent about 20,000, I think, like cash. And then we've just been stockpiling since then. Just like stockpiling. What's up? Okay. And then this year was the year where we were talking about buying a car. It's like we don't need a car, do we? Sorry, Chris just walked in, so I'm like, we don't need a car. Like, the car was huh? Chris doesn't even have a license. Like, she's driven. When was it? I think you've only driven a vehicle one time, and that was at my family's ranch. We went out in the back field with the old Toyota, and you drove, and we have a video of that somewhere. So we were talking about getting a car this year, and it was like, we came to the time to buy the car, which was March. And I paid my taxes, whatever was left after taxes. We were like, let's take the tax refund and use that and buy a car. And then we looked at that and we went, do we really need a car? Why don't we just invest that money and buy some local property and then just hold on to that for 2 years and sell it, And so we decided not to buy a car, and so now we're just looking at local properties right now. And I just think that, like, I would love to have a car. I would love to have a car. Because, like, to go to the city, it's not a big deal. Like, there's reputable buses. There's ways to get to town. It's more convenient to have a vehicle. But she and I walk everywhere. There's taxis right out. I could literally walk outside my front door, go to the street corner, and get a taxi. Sometimes I have to wait 10 minutes. Oh, what a great inconvenience it is to wait 10 minutes for a taxi to come. It's not that big of a deal. It's 10 minutes. So then it was like, well, let's just buy local property. So actually, her sister was here last night, and we were discussing various options to buy local property because her sister has bought several pieces of local property, and she keeps her nose to the ground and knows where all the deals are happening. And it's like, and all of that, Thandar, what's up, man? 10 minutes is not that long. It's not. So I bring that all back to like, I forget why we got on this discussion, but oh, we were talking about the office, and I was saying my office looks like shit. The reason my office looks like shit, thank you, Gustav. My brain goes like 50 different directions. The reason my office looks like shit is because I don't care about the office. I'm literally just taking all of our money. I'm old. Like, I'm literally in pension saving mode. I am not going to rely on Social Security to pay for my pension. So we are literally in our mid 40s going, let's ensure that we are comfortable for the rest of our lives and we don't have to worry about money when we're in our 60s or beyond. So our objective right now is to have stuff set up over the next 5 years so that we have multiple sources of income coming in. And some, maybe we're late to the game in doing that. I spent my 20s and 30s traveling the world. So, I worked in travel for a living and I spent all my money on plane tickets and experiences and camera gear and everything else. And then got to my late 30s and said, okay, it's time to settle down and do that. And so that's all we're doing right now. It's just hunkered down, saving money and putting money in the savings and looking at strategic purchases to build out a real estate portfolio that can then be used for either rentals or to sell off, 10 years down the road for a 15% gain or something, So that's why I don't give a shit about my office, and I don't have a really flashy, I don't have a big cool shelf with like a YouTube plaque on it and like Lego sets and all this other stuff. It's like, because I'm not in that position. Like, I am in a save money position and just, we are well off. We eat very well. We're not starving. I have everything I need for my office. I have air conditioning. I have internet connections. I have all my subscriptions. Like, what more do I need? What more do I need? That's a big thing. Thanar says, Jaws tender, but I'm alive. At least you're feeling better, man. I'm actually supposedly, I need to go to the dentist to get my teeth cleaned, and I keep forgetting. What's up, JK? What's my current thoughts on Shadows? I have a shitload of videos about my thoughts on Shadows. There's a playlist if you're watching on YouTube right now. If you're watching on Twitch, you can go to the YouTube channel after the stream and you can check the playlist for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I have like 4 or 5 different review videos out. I've got multiple thoughts videos out. I've got guides out. We're 16 sessions into the stream, 60 hours into the game. It's pretty evident what my thoughts on this game are. But if you want the gritty details, you can go watch all the videos. Gary says you're doing it exactly like the way I would. I couldn't give two shits what people think as long as my savings is going to. Exactly that. Steph says I remember in the early 80s rent was £10 in the north of UK. Now the same house is 100 plus. Yeah. I'm probably within 15-20 hours of finishing Thandar. Maybe less. Depends on how much I stop and shoot the shit as opposed to just play. Shattered Coast's northern tip. Just the tip. Oh, yeah? JK says I'm independently poor. Living on the ramen university diet. Hey man, we've all been there at some point. And my wife still eats ramen. Mostly because she likes it. I will occasionally eat ramen here. Pot Noodles, I think, is the brand. There's also Baruchan. I like the beef and the chicken are my two favorites. Well, this is funny to me. So, like, my sister, as an example, she's married to someone who is fairly well off in the U.S. He runs he has a tennis. He's a tennis coach in Colorado, and he is well off. They are well off, and they take vacations all the time. And their big deal is like they'll go to Florida a couple times a year for this big beach house vacation, take all the kids and everything else. And she's always like, you should just come, and you should bring Chris and just come. And it's like, to fly to Florida, for me to go to Florida to take a vacation, just the flights alone are going to be like $2,000. Then I got to pay for traveler's insurance. Then I got to pay for hotels and transport. It's going to be $3,000 minimum just for me to go and come back. Okay? That's not counting any sundries. Do we go out to eat? Do all this other stuff? How long were we there for? All those things. That could be a $5,000 trip. So I look at that and I say, to me, $3,000 is a ridiculous amount of money to fly somewhere for like 3 days. To me, I do not want to spend that kind of money to just go somewhere. I don't view that as a sound financial decision because I value my disposable income in a different way than she does. Chris and I are extremely frugal. Some people will say we're cheap. You can call us cheap if you want. I don't care if you call us cheap. If you have seen some of the trips I've taken over the years when I was traveling for a living, you would not be saying that, but whatever. I've raised millions of dollars in the past when I was building the MMORPG and that game studio. Like, it has nothing to do with access to money. It has to do with being frugal with what you're given. And because I'm in the stage of my life where I'm building up my pension, it's like, no, that $3,000 can be used. I mean, that's half of a nice piece of property here. Why would I spend $3,000 on a trip? No. I could buy a nice lot for $6,000 here. $5,000 if I'm lucky. Yeah, a band a day is a bit for sure. Yeah, you'd be worried about Florida, man. That's not wrong, dude. So, like, we literally are getting ready to go sometime next week, I think, or in the next week or two. We're going to visit. So, there's a family friend whose father died, and the son was in the military. He was a soldier here. His father died. His brother lives in the United States. His father died and had a bunch of farmland, cows, and farmland here locally. And father died, mother was left with it. His mom is 60 plus. No one to run the farm. So the son got an honorable discharge from the military to come back and help his mom manage the property. But he knows nothing about cows. He knows nothing about farms. And his brother doesn't want to come back from the United States because he's like, I don't want to go be a farmer. So he's got all this land and cows that he doesn't want to do anything with. And we literally talked to him like last year, and he was like, do you guys want to buy some land? Because I really don't need all this. And it's, dirt cheap. And we said no last year because we didn't. And this year we have the money to spend. So this year we're actually, your sister was here last night. We're setting up a visit to his farm to talk about, hey, What do you want to sell? Let's go take a look at it. How much is available? What does he want? What do you want for it? Um, Even just in town, to put this into perspective, there is a house for sale across the street. So there's a big university here where I live, and it has its own land outside of, like, just out, kind of, it's within the city limits, but it's outside of the city where we live. But there's a big university here. It's a technological university for the region, and all around it there is land that is being sold up for subdivisions. And there is a teacher who the family knows. She has a 2-bedroom, I believe it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home. I don't know anything about it because I haven't gone and looked at it. I was told last night, 2-bedroom, 1-bath home, similar to what we have, but bigger. It may have a second story on it. Again, I don't know all the full details because I wasn't there for the whole conversation. But it's like a 2 or 3 bedroom on a small piece of land. It's not like a big acreage; it's a lot. And I was told last night that it's for sale for $15,000. 15 grand. $15,000 is what it's for sale for. So we're going to look at that. Because that's something, if it is for sale for the price that we're being told, and it's in good condition, it's in a perfect location across the road from the university, we can buy that, turn it into a rental unit. And I can pay cash for that. So it's like, those are the things that we're looking at right now. It's like, why would I spend $3,000 on plane tickets to go on a week-long vacation when $3,000 is a quarter or a fifth of what I could use to buy property or a house to set up as a rental unit? And then we're looking at farmland at the same time. So it's like, people's relation, yeah, it's just different for everybody, you know? And yes, it's hot where we live for a few months out of the year. It's not my favorite place in the world to live, but I keep going back to that saying that my brother and I have, which is, entrepreneurs are willing to do the things that no one else will do to live the life that no one else can. And it's like, I don't have that many years left on this planet. I had a very good run in my 20s and 30s traveling the world for a living, and I got all of my bucket list shit out of my system. So I don't have a bucket list anymore. What I have is, I want a nice cabin in the mountains where I could just set up a nice little studio with an east-facing window and a fireplace and my writing den, and I'm just going to spend my twilight years writing fantasy and science fiction novels and playing video games. That's all I care about with my cats. Chris is going to have an art studio where she can paint and sculpt, and we're going to have a small 3 to 5 acre plot where we can have goats and chickens and ducks and a couple of cows and a garden, and that's it. That's all we're doing. And that's the only fucking objective that I have. That's it. And we're trying to make that happen by the time I'm 50. So I've got 5 years to make that happen. So I'm going to ride this YouTube train and this Twitch train as far as it takes me. And in the meantime, Chris does stuff. And the big thing right now is setting up properties and things that she can then manage. And that'll be her thing. And then she already does stuff with her sisters already. I don't have a lot to do with that stuff. I just get told this is what's happening and I go, cool. As long as I don't die tomorrow, which could happen. That's just what we're doing. And I document all this shit, so it's like, I've been documenting pretty much my entire life since 2007 when I started blogging. I can't see anything with this stupid storm. Is that water? It is water. Can I just swim over there? Yes, perspective is important. Yeah, it's like here I'm gonna drop a link. I'm gonna drop a link here, guys. Give me 2 seconds to get to a safe spot. I'm gonna drop a link in YouTube, and this is the kind of stuff that I'm gonna show you. The kind of stuff that I am fascinated by and look at all the time. And I've actually done a couple of private YouTube videos about the guy I'm gonna show you right now for our channel members. So if you want to know more about this guy, you can go look it up. Give me a second here. I got to dig up the link here. Yeah, here he is. So this guy is actively doing what I want to do. So this is my #1. And again, if you want more, I have a whole bunch of videos in the private member section on YouTube about this guy and some of the things and some ideas and stuff. So this guy, Martin, he has documented his entire journey. I think it's about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. He bought a property in the Italian Alps. He's from, I believe, Denmark. He bought a place in the Italian Alps. He's a photographer. He's a retired photographer and videographer, which is what I used to do, right? So he buys this property in the Italian Alps for about 25,000 euro. And it has a bunch of, it's got two like really old broken down structures on it, right? And he buys this property, and he's spent the last like 3-4 years just documenting his renovation of the property. Let me pull this up on stream real quick. I'm gonna switch over here because this is what I want to talk about. We're getting sidetracked this morning, guys. So this is this guy, Martin Doulard. So he's got this property that he bought like 3-4 years ago. He's from the Netherlands. Sorry. He finished 2 long-distance bicycle journeys from Amsterdam to Singapore and Vancouver to Patagonia, and he's currently living in a remote stone cabin in the Italian Alps. So this guy goes out and spends a total of about 30,000 euro to buy a property, get the permits to renovate the 2 existing stone buildings, which are shown at the top, and then he has spent the last several years documenting and does it all through YouTube, and his videos get hundreds of thousands of views. So he's making a steady living through his YouTube channel, which he then uses to fund the building of the project, right? And he's a photographer and videographer, so he's got a drone and a camera and all this other stuff. So you can go look at all these videos going back over the years of him building and installing and like renovating this place. And he's got chickens and you know, when he started off, it was literally he just had this little Suzuki vehicle, and he was hauling stuff up in this ratty old trailer, and so here it is. There's the Jimmy, the Suzuki Jimmy. It's over here in this video right here. That's literally this video on the far right, the one I'm hovering over right here. That was the vehicle and the little trailer they used to like haul supplies up to this remote location in the Italian Alps, right? But he's got an internet connection up there, and he's got a well. He dug a well. And anyway, here's the point I'm trying to make. When you talk to people, a lot of people, they place the value of their life on something like, oh, I've got a $400,000 home, and I've got a Tesla, and I've got a... You know how much a fucking new... We're going to get sidetracked even further this morning, guys. My internet's being poopy, so it's going to take a minute to load this up, probably. Do you know how much a new pickup truck costs? in the U.S. So hang on, let me go find like trucks. Here we go. So their cheapest truck is the Maverick, which starts at 24,000. Here's the Ranger, standard Ford Ranger, right? 32,000. It's the base model. These base models don't have anything. There's like no radio, there's no cruise control, none of that stuff. So let's just say, their cheapest truck starts at 24,000, 32,000 is like the entry. Just this guy bought an entire property for the cost of one pickup truck. So I want you to think about that for a minute. You have so many people in who will they'll go buy a $60,000 car. Correct, Dino, it's worse in Canada. They'll buy a $60,000 vehicle. And then they'll have a $400,000 mortgage. And then they'll have $300,000 of student loans and shit that they're paying off. They're 30 years old and they've got $600,000, $800,000 of debt. Meanwhile, you've got guys like this dude who said, I'm going to go buy this property for $30,000 and I'm done. It's a small plot of land, but I've got 2 buildings. I've got this amazing view out over the Italian Alps. It cost me $30,000. I paid for it in cash, and I'm just going to live out here. And yeah, the first couple of years, I'm not going to have running water. I'm not going to have the best electricity. I'm going to have to dig my own well. I'm going to have to, have solar panels and rough it a little bit, But now, if you go look at like where he's at recently, the interiors are fleshed out. Anyway, I point this out because this is what keeps me up at night. This is what I dream about. This is what I fantasize about. Because this is what I'm doing. This is what we are currently saving for, is so that I can find I look at properties like once a week. So I have already found multiple pieces of property that I can buy for $20,000 to $30,000. Some have buildings on them, some don't have buildings on them. And then this is the next step of Christina and I. This is the next step of our journey, is doing something like this. This is happening in the next, I wouldn't say 3 years, but 3 to 5 years. It could happen in 3 years, but that just depends on if YouTube, if YouTube blows up, sure. But I can track things and say if the growth is this, then I can plan out and say this is probably 5 years out. And then we spend the rest of our lives doing that. And I flesh that out, and I do it on YouTube, and I document it, and I continue to have a Patreon page and sell my books through Amazon and maybe game from that property. I don't know. But I've been doing this shit now. I've been online making a living since 2008. So I have a lot of experience doing this. I've done travel writing, travel photography, travel videography, public speaking, marketing, social media management, game development, and now I'm doing streaming and video games. This is like the 7th or 8th thing I've done online, and they all sort of mesh together. I still sell copies of my old travel guides, and I haven't written an update in like a decade. Probably longer than that. I think the last time I did an update was, it's been about a decade. Like probably 2014, 2013. It's been a decade. And I still sell copies of my travel books. Not many, but they still do sell. So when you start to have all this online stuff, like I've been documenting my whole journey since I was living in Bulgaria back then. And so I look at this stuff and go, this is just the next step of evolution. Anyway, we got extremely sidetracked this morning, guys, off of a discussion about The Office. And why I don't give a shit about what my office looks like. That guy is the perfect example of why I don't give a shit what my office looks like. Like, he doesn't give a shit what his property looks like. Why? because it's a work in progress, and that's his forever home. So it's like, here it's like no one needs to know what my office looks like. I don't need to show off anything in the background because it doesn't matter. Like, we're literally just here for as long as it takes us to save up money to find that next piece of property that becomes the forever home up in the mountains where we build Christina's art studio and I get to build my writing studio. Like, we've run out of space where we're at. Like, we're like, we need more space for more animals. Like, we don't have enough space for the animals. It's like, we want more animals. We want goats. And so, you know, we've talked about things like, well, maybe we do like a co-op and we buy a piece of land with the family and buy a 5-acre piece of property that we all share. Like, we've talked about all sorts of stuff. Oh, he's gonna block! Ah! I don't think he was the target I was looking for. But there may be clues here. It's 10 holidays to Florida. Yeah, I mean, Kristen asked, what kind of research did you do to find out if being a full-time YouTube and Twitch streamer is even plausible? I didn't have to do any research. That's the cool thing about my journey, Kristen. So I had already been building YouTube channels and building brands for other people for a long time. So my previous occupations allowed me to know that it takes 2 to 3 years for any venture in the online space. If you go full-time on it, it takes 2 to 3 years to get it to a profitable state. As long as you are willing to do the things that no one else is willing to do to live the life that no one else can. So I went into it the day my channel got monetized, I went full-time. It was the perfect combination. We were still living in Mexico City. I was still doing game dev on the side, and I had a salaried position working with a startup out of California as their marketing lead. They got bought out by investors, and the new investment company said, we no longer want a white dude running the marketing team. We want a female diversity hire. And so I got laid off, and we both looked at, it was literally a conversation where we said, we had just bought this property in October, and it was January when I got laid off. And we both said, well, why don't we just move to the homestead? So we decided to move to the homestead. That was January. February, my channel got monetized. We moved at the end of February, and I immediately just went full-time. Because I was like, I'm not going to go back and work for other people. I'm tired of doing, I'd been freelancing for like 20 years at that point, building, and I was like, I already know how to do this for all these people. I've been doing it for other people for years. I'm just going to do my own channel now. And so I just went full-time. And I said, I've got enough money in the savings to go 3 years. And if I don't make it within 3 years, well, I guess I'll go find another contract. But I'm pretty confident I can do this because I've been doing it for other people for so many years. So I just went all in. And June of 2020, when did Baldur's Gate 3 come out? 2023? I think it was 2023. Was it like August of 2023 or September of 2023? Yep. So June of 2023, which was a year and a half into my full-time journey, June of 2023 was the first month when I made more money than I needed to pay the bills. So it took me a year and a half to get to the profitable stage with YouTube. So the first year and a half, I was spending money out of the savings while I built up the revenue streams. And then in June of 2023, the channel had grown big enough to where I was making more money than I needed to pay the bills. And I have yet to have any issues since then. So June of 2023 was when the channel reached profitability. I have documented this entire journey on our YouTube channel. So if you go to the channel videos, the channel member videos, the private videos for channel members on YouTube, I do income reports and analytics reports quarterly. We do them quarterly right now. Sometimes I'll do them more frequently, but mostly they happen quarterly. And I have documented 100% of the journey since I started the channel. So it's all out there for people who are, you know, analytical in nature and want to know how all this stuff works. But yeah, year and a half to profitability, and then since then it's just been net growth. All I care about is net growth. Every single month we get 1.2 to 1.5 thousand new followers on YouTube. Twitch is much slower on growth, but I've only been doing Twitch for a year and a half. I've been doing YouTube for like full-time 3 years and 4 years if you want to go back to the beginning of the channel. YouTube is much bigger. We're about to hit 50,000 followers on YouTube, and Twitch is, I think we're slowly climbing to 3,000 followers on Twitch. And like most days, which we've seen, like most mornings, you know, I'll have 50, 60 people on a newer game, 50, 60 people live on YouTube, and 15 to 20 over on Twitch. Like right now, I think we have 42 people watching live on YouTube, and we have 8 on Twitch. So just depends on the morning, but usually we're, let's say 40, 50-ish minimum on YouTube and 15 to 20 on Twitch. So usually most mornings we're 60 to 70, 70, 80, somewhere in that ballpark. But you go back 3 years ago and I had 7 people watching, 5 people watching, you know. But I didn't have to do any research. I already just knew because I'd been doing it for other people. So I was able to take all of my marketing knowledge and brand building knowledge from doing it for other people and just say, I'm just going to do this on my own shit. Are there any other structures here? There we go. There's a, okay, yeah, those buildings right there. Dr. Mock says, new to your channel, what is full-time for a streamer? It depends on the streamer. I actually did not start doing full-time streaming until last year. What I was doing for the first couple of years was I called myself a content creator, not a streamer. So I was putting out, I made more money uploading videos to YouTube than I did by being live. So I would only go live for about 2 hours a day. I still streamed every single day, unless I was sick. Every single day I streamed. But I would only stream for like 2 to 3 hours a day. Until last year. Last June, July was when my stream numbers got big enough that I looked at it and said, I think I can make more money going live than I can by uploading videos. And so once I was able to make that transition, I now spend more time being live than I used to. But in the beginning, what I did was, I've talked about this. There's other videos on the YouTube channel that talk about this, so I'm not going to go whole hog on it today. YouTube is a numbers game. So the more videos you have in your YouTube library, the more money you're going to make.
I really need your boat.
Stop trying to run me over with your boat, lady. Okay. So I just literally sat down and said if I can make 1 penny for every video, 1 penny every day for every video that's on YouTube, I can track this financial growth. I have more than 7,500 videos on the channel. Do the math. Now, not every video is making 1 cent a day. Some make fractions, but you can go back and, again, we show this in the data. I went from $3 a day to $11 a day to $14 a day to $20 a day to $30 a day to $40 a day to $50. It's just the more videos you put on YouTube, the more money you're going to make. And so in the beginning, my objective was to put a minimum of 8 videos a day on YouTube. That was my objective. So I sat down and worked for 12 hours a day, minimum. 12 to 14 hours a day, every single day. And I do this. Play video games. I would stream for 2 hours. I would cut segments of those streams out, YouTube videos. I would make guides, YouTube videos. Just sit and make a guide, sit and make a guide, sit and make a guide, sit and make a guide. Guide videos are the best. But also 30-minute sections of Let's Play videos. So you're going to play a game for 2 hours, that's 4 videos. That's 4 30-minute Let's Play portions. So you play a game for 2 hours, boom, that's 4 videos. It's not rocket science. It's just content. It's just volume, 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 volume. Be everywhere. Clips, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Blah, 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 blah. Saturate everything everywhere so people are always seeing your face. Use your hashtags. All that stuff. But if you want to do something, you got to work at it. You can't just be like, well, I can only put 2 hours. If that's all you have is 2 hours a day, that's fine. But if you're going to do something, you got to go all in. Like, you can't half-ass it. Like, you get out what you put in. So if you want to be sustainable at this and you want this to be your dream and it's your passion and you want it to become your real job, then treat it like a real job, which means 8 to 10 hours a day minimum. But yeah, I sit here all day every day. What else am I going to do? Like, I love playing video games. I love watching movies. So my channel, and I just split the movie reviews out to their own channel in January. But I used to do movie reviews on this channel as well as TV show reviews. So, and we've done tabletop stuff, you know. So it's just my passions in life got dumped onto my YouTube channel. And I just love nerd stuff. So I just nerd out about the things that I love on my YouTube channel and make content around it. I use Filmora for video editing.
I still think about that ambush. Only Lopo could have come up with that. I should be cautious.
I used to use Sony Vegas Pro, and then about 4 or 5 years ago, I switched to Filmora. I have an annual subscription to the Filmora Pro. Right now, I average about 1.2 to 1.4, 1.5, somewhere in there, 1,000 per month on YouTube. And then I have big months where we'll do like 3,000. Like last October, I think we had like October or November or December. I think we were getting like 3,000 a month, like 2,500, 3,000 a month. So it just depends. Sometimes we have, if viral games, if we have a game that's doing really well, I might get more than that.
I know. Samemaru's men have shitball brains, but they have the brawn. We must obtain the treasure. I agree, little Kappa is too crazy. He doesn't care about riches, only blowing things up. Alright, meeting adjourned. I am glad we had this council, friends. Trust fate awaits.
He blocked me. Ah! Does he have a pistol in his offhand? He totally does! That was cool. First time I've seen a guy with a pistol in his offhand.
This man was working with little Kappa, the one with the explosives. They're both dead now.
Not on the top of my head, Nicholas. Like, I may take a look at the patch notes. I'm not really worried about it too much. Like if I have nothing else to do, I'm probably due to jump back into Path of Exile 2 and check it out. I haven't checked it out since maybe the February patch. Um, like it's still installed. I keep it installed on the PS5, but I haven't played. I don't think I've played since February. Um, so yeah, I mean, if I have some dead space, but we're about to start South of Midnight in a few days, so I'll be busy there. Anyway, the other big thing though, guys, my journey on YouTube, my journey is unique to me because of my financial situation. I think Co Carnage talked about it before. I think it took him 7 years before he was able to go full time. I could swear he was the 7 year guy. I could swear Co Carnage was 7 years before he went all in. Or maybe it was 4 years before he went all in. If you go, there's a lot of streamers out there who have talked about like 7 years was when we popped off big, 4 years before I was able to go full time. I may be mistaken about Co Carnage. I don't think it was. I don't think it. Maybe it was he was doing it because I know he's been doing it full time now for like 10 years. I'm pretty sure that when he went full time, he had already been doing it for like 7. If I'm mistaken on that number, somebody please let me know. But the reality is, like, a lot of people are in a place where the cost of living is so high that they can't afford to go full time because they still need $6,000, $7,000 a month to pay their bills. And so they have to keep that day job, especially if they've got kids. It's, it just depends on everybody's financial situation. But, many people that I know in my personal life have bills that are around $5,000 a month just to pay to keep the lights on, right? So that's healthcare. All those bills just stack up. And I don't have $5,000 worth of bills every month. So it enabled me to go full time in a place that in a way that many people might not be able to, because I didn't have $5,000 a month of bills. I had a place that was paid for in cash, and I knew I only needed a few $100 a month to pay for like groceries and, healthcare and stuff like that. That's a very unique situation. So it's not something I would say is an everyday. It takes a lot of work to get to the point where you're making like $2,000 a month between YouTube and Twitch, let alone $3,000 a month. I still have not reliably reached $3,000 a month. I have had $3,000 months. They usually happen pretty frequently at the end of every year when advertisers are paying more money. But I certainly don't have 3,000 is not the standard. I'm working to make it the standard. That's the next sort of behind the scenes goal that we have, is getting to that point. Yeah, growth is different for different people, Naughty Boys. Some people get 1 million a week. Some people get 10,000 a week. My channel average is about 1.2 to 1.5 thousand a month on YouTube, and I think Twitch is like maybe a couple hundred a month. It just depends on the month. Some months it's been like 300, but I think most months it's like 150, 200 a month. But I don't do anything crazy. I don't have any antics. I don't do a personality. I just sit and play games and talk to people about real life shit. West of Obama's port. That is north. So he's on a ship. So somewhere in the port. we got a season, which I need to go back and check my supplies really quick. Yeah, all my stuff is public out there, Kristen. Like all my travel blog stuff, that website's still there. All our travel media, all our social media for the travel blog is all still there. We just stopped doing it at the end of 2018. And I moved into game dev. All my game dev stuff is out there. People just have to do their due diligence, follow the links. Like it's like I have nothing to prove to anybody. I just show up and do this every single day, and I don't give a shit if I get 10 followers or if I get 50 followers. All I care about is are the numbers going up? And the numbers always go up as long as you reliably go live and reliably put content out. And so that's just I just show up and do the work. I've had so many jobs over the years. I've accomplished everything that I set out to accomplish on my bucket list. I really think the only thing that I haven't ever accomplished that I wouldn't mind doing is I've never had a book published by a major publisher, and I want to write a screenplay. Those are like two things that I would like to do. All of my books have been self-published, but I've got 25 million words in print, and I've done my books have been self-published. I've done tens of millions of words of content for clients around the world in magazines and websites and so on and so forth. But I would love to get a fantasy or science fiction novel published through a major publisher. That would be like a bucket list item that I would like to achieve, just so that I could have the bragging rights of saying I made that happen. And then I want to write a screenplay. I want to write a screenplay and produce like a film. And somewhere in my channel videos for the channel members on YouTube, I have there's 3 or 4, maybe 5 videos I've done where I talk about the screenplay stuff, and yeah, that's something that I'll work on. That's the next, once we get to the next place and we're working on fleshing out the mountain home, that's the next thing I'm going to work on. Not to brag, but I am pretty good at making my dreams come true. Like, something could happen tomorrow and I could lose a limb, I could have an accident, something horrible could happen. You can never deny that those things can happen. But I am a firm believer, because I never finished high school, I never went to college, and I have done everything I ever set out to do because of sheer tenacity and the willingness to do what no one else is willing to do to make my dreams come true. And that's not me bragging, that's me just saying that's the fucking truth of it. Like, I am the embodiment of, if you build it, they will come. Knock on wood. But that's because of blood, sweat, and tears. Like, my brother and I need to get my brother on to do a podcast with me, because he and I used to do a bunch of the game dev stuff together, and so we have a bunch of podcasts from the game dev, and they're documenting their stuff for the ranch. So he's in his early 30s, and he's got a multi-million-dollar cattle ranch. Him and his wife were the youngest ever couple to get approved for this massive FSA federal loan. They were the first couple ever. They were a guinea pig for this loan program. And because of how successful they had been with their previous property. And he and I have had some great discussions offline about just, if you want shit to happen, you've got to make it happen. You just got to put your nose to the grindstone and go. I don't think I'm able to do this unless I'm unobserved, I think. Go!
You will fall.
My brother also never went to college. My brother's a college dropout. Ran an excavation company while running his ranch for like 8 years, and then went full-time on the ranch about 3 years ago. He also did game development on the side with me. We founded an MMORPG studio. We founded a smaller studio, published a tabletop game, point-and-click game. Like, you want to do cool shit in your life? Do cool shit. You could pretty much do everything you want to do in life, other than maybe become an astronaut. Like, that shit takes more skill than I have. Like, I'm no good with math. I could never become an astronaut. I mean, maybe I could. I mean, I'm sure if I put my mind to it and I was younger, I could probably have figured out a way to become an astronaut. But I think that most things in life, you can, if you apply yourself, you can make them happen. I think we're looking for a boat. His ships are in Wakasa. He sails west of Obama's port. Well, let's look out into the port. See what kind of ships there are. He also, yeah, but Kristen, I would also like to say that in particular, Luke Stevens has been doing this for a lot longer than I have. A lot longer. A lot longer. I think he's been, you could quote me on this, but I think he's been going for like 10 years. Maybe not quite that long. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but I know he's been around a lot longer than I have. So it's natural that he gets, and he's also not, he's willing to do what I don't do, which is be controversial and shit all over companies sometimes, like, and do the rage bait. But he's been going for a while now. Because, like, Co Carnage has been full-time for 10 years. I've only been full-time for 3. Like, and a lot of these guys came up in a time when there was no competition. And I'm coming up in a time when there's a shitload of competition. So there is a difference. Some of these guys... hang on, I'm going to go to Luke's channel real quick.
Work today
Because I want to say...
is broken.
Yeah, that's an ad. Fuck off. He's got 600k subs on YouTube. I have 50k subs on YouTube. His channel... He joined in 2009. Now, I don't know when he started doing videos. But if he joined YouTube in 2009... I mean... Maybe assume that he didn't start until 2014, 2015. But let's just say he's been doing it at least 10 years. 600,000 subs. I've been doing it 3 years. I got 50k subs. There's a big difference. Like, yeah. I wonder if he's got like his original like videos from the very beginning. I wonder if you could check this out. oldest. Let's look at his oldest videos. He's got videos from 9 years ago on his YouTube channel. So yeah, he's been doing YouTube for at least 10 years. At least. So, yep. When you've been doing something for 10 years like that, you're going to have a big following. Yep, exactly, Naughty Boy. So that's one of the things that if you look at like the guys who were doing it at the very beginning, before, so Ninja's a good example. Like he was on, because Mixer was only there for a short amount of time, but he was at a place where he was one of the few people who were, you know, streaming has been around for a while, but not everyone was streaming until COVID. Like really, COVID was when everyone started doing it because everyone was home, right? But the guys who started doing it 10, 15 years ago are in a unique position because they've got, you know, PewDiePie, you know, as an example. Like some of these guys, you know, Asmongold's been doing it for 10 years. Like some of these guys have got, you know, 10, 15 million followers because they've been doing it forever. And guys like XQV and Ninja and those guys, they're worth millions and millions of dollars because they amassed huge followings. And we're the days, nobody pays exclusives anymore. Nobody does that. There hasn't been a major deal like that in a long time where a company will say, we want to pay you $10 million, $20 million, $30 million to have you leave Twitch and come over here and stream with us. Because now there's so many streaming platforms. There's Twitch, there's YouTube, there's Kick, there's Rumble, there's Facebook Live, there's X does it now. You can be live on X and make money through streaming on X. Like, there's a dozen places you can go stream. Whereas it used to be, you could only do it through Twitch. And so all of these guys who started when it was only Twitch built up millions of followers. But that was 15 years ago. You know, so it's a different market today. It is a lot harder to... And I think that's one of the reasons why so many people are willing to jump on that bandwagon of sensationalism and like being outrage farming, because outrage farming is easy to do and it generates so many views, and it's an easy way to get numbers because you can stand out. Whereas if you're just a normal person doing a normal thing, it's much harder to stand out because the entertainment factor is lower. And I don't have a big set of tits to make an OnlyFans account, so I just kind of have to deal with what I have the cards I've been dealt. So I just sit down and grind every day. I had always been into video games and I was developing video games, so I was just like, I'm just gonna go make my own stream channel. And it wasn't just about video games at the beginning, it was video games and tabletop games and TV shows and movies. Like the playlists are all still here on my channel. You can go find them. I've got like a favorite science fiction and fantasy TV show playlist. I've got a movie review playlist. And I do have that channel, that movie review and TV review channel is on its own place now, Renfail Reviews. It's only got like a couple hundred followers. I just started it in January. But that's where I put all my TV shows now and stuff. And I've kind of focused this thing to just be about gaming.
My heart is brave.
And then I have the Homestead channel with my wife. And hopefully that channel will get monetized this year. That'd be nice. Because that channel's not monetized. And that channel's like, I think that channel's 13 years old, 14 years old, and still not monetized. Where is this guy gonna be? He's west of the port. Oh yeah, you could turn the not just meditation, the sword things that
There'll be less trouble if I stay out of sight.
Yasuke does too. It's the quick time events. Hang on. I have a video. Never fear, because I make guides. Give me a second. I'm going to pull up the guide and I'll drop a link in chat. Dropping a link in the YouTube and Twitch chat right now, how to customize your gameplay settings in AC Shadows. One of which is the ability to turn off the QuickTime events. Just like you can in most Ubisoft games, you can turn off the lockpicking, the hacking, all that stuff in Star Wars Outlaws. You could do the same thing here. Yeah, I did them the first like 4 or 5 hours. But once I was like done with it, I was like, I'm turning it off. Same thing with Star Wars Outlaws. I'm okay doing the QuickTime events the first 5 or 6 times, but after you've had me do it 10 times, I'm kind of over it. I'm just like, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I have a YouTube short that's blowing up right now because I was standing up during one of Yasuke's versions, and I was like, I pretended that I was hands free, so I put my hands behind my back, and I was kind of bouncing up and down like I was using my other sword, nudge nudge wink wink, to hit the buttons on the controller. And that YouTube short is going viral right now because it's a tongue-in-cheek, stupid teenage humor, toilet humor video. All right, I gotta go kill some pirates here. Oh shit, there's guys all over the place. All right. Oh my god, that's a lot of guys. Can I get him with an... Oh, I missed the assassination. Damn it. I'm on a cooldown now. There we go. Okay. Good thing they can't chase me on their boat. All right. Was that the last one in that tree? unless there's another one, I think that was the last one. Which means I should be able to go back over here. Yep, we can wrap this one up this morning. But before I do, I need more coffee, guys. I'll be right back. Hang on, guys. I gotta help Chris. I gotta chase some ducks. I'll be right back. And one more thing, lest I forget. None of this would be possible without my wife. None of it. Because she has supported every single fucking thing I've ever done. No complaints. Never once said anything like, oh, you don't spend time with me. Oh, you play too many video games. Oh, why are you doing this instead of this? Nope. You know what she does? Hey, honey, when do you want breakfast? Hey, honey, when do you need lunch? What can I do to help? Never once has she ever complained about anything. All she does is just kick ass and support. And she does her own thing. She's got the homestead stuff. That's what she likes doing. She's literally outside right now cleaning the chicken coop, and she started building another like shelter to keep the sun off of them yesterday. And I'll go outside. She's out there with the handsaw, hammer, grinder. Like, she does her own thing. Like, but that the significant other, supportive spouse or significant other cannot be understated. Because if you don't have a support structure, yeah. I think that's also, we talked about this in past streams. That's also what has kept me from turning into an angry rage bait troll like so many other streamers, because they don't have significant others in their lives. Western Lake Sujitsu. Wakasa. Well, this is Wakasa. Lake Sujitsu. Well, let's travel north. Krista says the point I was making about Steven's videos and the number of followers was if you had 600 views on a live stream, you'd be probably doing. Oh, I could tell you exactly. Hang on, I gotta pull it up. There's a website that shows you the math. I can't find it right now. Basically, the math, and I'm off the top of my head here. I can't find the website off the top of my head, and I would need to go dig into my notes to find out where it's at. The math roughly translates to, for every 100 concurrent viewers you have, meaning if there's 100 people watching you live, and you could maintain 100 concurrent viewers per month, it's around like it's like $3,000 a month from 100 concurrent. So if you're averaging 100 concurrent, it's a minimum of 3,000. Now it could be more than that because of there's different. You earn a different amounts of money on Twitch and YouTube based on where the viewer is located. So it's between like 3,000 to 5,000 on average per 100 concurrent. So as long as you're live reliably and you're streaming consistently and you've got 100 people watching, you're making $3,000 to $5,000 a month minimum. That's not counting sponsorships. That's raw advertising dollars views. So memberships, that's more. Subscriptions, memberships on Twitch, subscriptions on hang on, it's subscriptions on Twitch, members on YouTube, right? So those add to that cake. But if you have 100 concurrents regularly and you're streaming like 6 to 8 hours a day, you're going to be making $3,000 to $5,000 a month just in ad revenue. So if you have 600 concurrents, oh yeah, you're making 10 grand a month, like easily, just from ad revenue. I did a stream. Let me go pull it up real quick. I can actually show you this. Hang on, I got to go into my analytics here. Is it Dawnwalker? Is that the name of that game? Oh, see, that's not showing me the... That's only showing me the live revenue. So here's a good example. So my numbers are different than other people's numbers, but I dive into this more again. So my live ad revenue is about 7.84, so almost $8. Well, actually, my playback cost is around 8.18, so a little over $8. Let's just say it's an average of $8 per 1,000 views when I'm live. And views are different, but I did a Dawnwalker video where we were streaming during the Dawnwalker event, and I had like 650 people while I was live for the few hours, or not few hours, sorry, for the little bit that was alive. It wasn't a very long video. And that video has done... Hang on, that's showing me the... Where's it at? I gotta dig through all the data here. that video did for the just in raw advertising dollars for the 40 minutes that it was live or whatever was like $56 of ad revenue just for that little 40-minute section. And then there's memberships that come from that and everything else. So, you know, if you can make, you know, $60 an hour when you're live just from ad revenue on a small video like that, it's not like, again, numbers vary dramatically depending on what you're doing and everything else, but it does come back to, I need to pull the link because there's a great link that I've got buried in one of my research docs, because my numbers are different on Twitch than they are on YouTube, and I have an RPM that I make per month on ad revenue that is different on Twitch than it is for YouTube. But anyway, yeah, if you've got 100 concurrents, it's, you know, I'm pretty sure that when I get to 100 concurrents, I'll be in the $4,000 a month range, $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Well, that's where I will be with 100 concurrents, based on the combination of ad revenue, membership subscriptions, Twitch and YouTube combined together. There's a little bit that comes into the Patreon, but I don't promote the Patreon that much anymore. So it's just, I used to use it a lot when I was documenting all the game dev stuff and some of my fantasy and science fiction work, but I don't really promote it anymore. But anyway, I anticipate by the time I'm doing, which should be by the end of this year, I would anticipate. I anticipate being at 100 concurrents by the end of this year. I should be reliably in the like $4,000 a month range. But if you've got more than 500 people watching you reliably, you're definitely in the 10,000 plus month. You're doing $10,000 a month or more in revenue. I'll tell you how easy it is to calculate on YouTube. So if you just look at how many views a video has, and there are tools that you can use to estimate a channel's average. So YouTube will pay in between, like, let's say on a minimum, people are probably making about $4 per 1,000 views, and then you can go up to like Moist Critical. I think he makes about $18 per 1,000 views. Shit, hang on, Chris is yelling.
What's over there? You'll regret challenging me.
Sorry guys, cat drama. I had to go put a cat in the refuge. Oh shit. Look at YouTube for a moment. Let's just, if you figure that the lowest person on YouTube is making like say $4 or $5 per 1,000 views, if a video gets 100,000 views on YouTube, you know, it's $400. Just that's raw advertising revenue. So if you have built up a channel to where you can reliably get 100,000 views per video, then every single time you do a video, you're making $400. And if you're doing a video every single day that's doing 100,000 views, you're making a minimum of $400 every time that video goes out. Now, people who are getting 100,000 views per video, generally speaking, are getting paid a lot more than $4 per 1,000 for RPM. They're getting more than 4 RPM. They're probably in the 10 to 12 or 15. But you could say minimum $400 or $500 per 100,000 view video. So when you see a big YouTuber and they're putting out a video every single day that's getting, you know, That's just that video. You have to think about the fact that it's staggered too. So that's why you can pull up really cool tools that let you analyze the average monthly viewership for a video for a channel, for the whole channel. And then you can take a look at that and say, well, I can estimate that this person is making between this and this. Because you can look at the totality of traffic that's coming in, and you can use the public numbers that YouTube pays for ad revenue. I mean, there's always a chance that YouTube can move the goalposts, but they haven't in a very long time statistically. Correct. Outdoor makes a good living. So you guys were asking about Luke Stevens earlier. So his YouTube channel is bringing in a minimum of, it looks like, around 3 million in raw views per month on his main channel. He has multiple channels, right? So this is just, so we can divide that by 1,000. That's 3,000. We can multiply that by a minimum of $4, which is the minimum. He's bringing in at least $12,000 a month on his main YouTube channel, just from raw advertising revenue. That's Luke Stevens. Now, he might have a completely different RPM. His RPM might be $10 per thousand. I don't know, but you can go look at the main channel has 3 million views a month. So just do the math on that. Break it down into 1,000 views. Break that down into $4 per thousand. He's making 12 grand a month in ad revenue, minimum. Then there's memberships. Then there's I don't know if he has a Twitch channel. I don't know if he also does Twitch streams. And the thing is live videos pay more. So I'm using the RPM for VODs. Live views have a higher RPM. Just so that you're aware. But yes, it takes a lot of time to build up a channel to that point. Like I said, I think his videos go back 9 years, 10 years, so he's been doing it at least a decade. So as an example. So yes, it's just a matter of persistence with YouTube, as long as you just stick with it. Well, AdSense is owned by Google and YouTube, Wolfguard. I'm not sure what you mean. Third-party ad revenue places? What do you mean by third-party ad revenue places? But YouTube has not changed the rules for a very long time. The last time YouTube changed the rules was after the Logan Paul Japanese forest thing. That was the last time YouTube made changes. YouTube doesn't like to mess with their algorithm because they make billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars off of the partnership with YouTube content creators. And they don't want to upset that boat because there's enough competition now with Twitch and Kick and Rumble and YouTube and X that people will happily go somewhere else if YouTube messes with that algorithm too much. Yeah, but YouTube doesn't do partnerships like that anymore, or they haven't in a long time. Like, as an example, you know, like, I think, Co Carnage, I think his partnership with Twitch finally ran out. last October. And that's when he started multi-streaming, October, November of last year, I think. And it was because the Twitch partnership finally ran out. He was on a contract with Twitch to exclusively stream on Twitch, and as a result, he got a set amount of money that he was paid, and then plus subscriptions and all the other stuff. But that exclusivity contract ran out, and Twitch said we're not going to renew, and so he started multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitter X. And so now Co-Carnage goes live in multiple places. And I think it was Moist Critical. I never did the... I watched... Moist Critical did a really good analysis of why no one should be ignoring multi-streaming. Like, every single person should be multi-streaming if they are going to attempt to stream. They should be multi-streaming everywhere, because the days of exclusive contracts are gone. So you should be everywhere. I've actually been debating, because Streamlabs added Kick to their platform, so I've been debating creating a Kick account to start multi-streaming on Kick as well. I have zero audience on Kick.
How did this come to be? Did a god carve that arch?
But
I can't get caught here.
why not? It's not about a target audience, it's just another platform. There's no such thing as a target audience when it comes to a streaming platform. It's just another platform for people to stream on. Because there's lots of different people on Kick. Lots of different genres. Same thing with Rumble. I know Rumble's been going pretty hard and heavy on trying to expand their gaming categories. There's the guy I'm looking for. Yep, they signed a... It was not an exclusivity agreement with Dr. Disrespect, but they did bring him on board for a sum.
That tune. I've heard it before. At Niwa's estate.
Twitch is actually not primarily video games, Kristen James. Political discussions on Twitch are actually the #1 category on Twitch. Just chatting, I believe, is one of the #1 on Twitch, along with the political commentary. But gaming is actually not the #1 thing on Twitch. It started off as a gaming stream platform, but it is. There's they have a homestead section now, like a whole section dedicated to homesteading and live streaming animals and all that stuff. Like, Twitch is way more than video games, and gaming is not. I don't even know that gaming is in their top. I haven't checked the numbers in a while, about a year, but yeah, gaming is not the top. It's like Let's Chat, just chatting, I think is what it's called. Live events, talk shows and podcasts. That's because that's what Twitch was for quite a while. That's like the number one category on Twitch for a while was hot tub streamers. And then they cracked down on that, and it became like political commentary and just chatting.
A nasty lair for a nasty man. A clue might be here.
Last I heard, Samemaru had to leave again. Meeting with someone important.
A clue. Aha.
I'm still hungry.
The man we are hunting is using Samemaru and his pirates to murder the Niwa clan.
Okay. Yeah, they have to do that though. Like they have to modify their rules because there's always going to be people who try to break the rules to try to find ways to push the boundaries and do things that are outside of the realm of what normal people would be doing. That's like the thing. You give people creativity in a video game, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to paint dicks. Like that's the first thing. Like anytime someone says you can do, you can create custom cape icons in an MMO, right? The first thing someone does is they go draw dick logos. Like the moment you give people freedom to do shit, there's always some asshole out there who's like, I'm gonna make penises. And then they have to change the rules because of those types of people.
Samemaru and his mysterious partner are meeting in Obama. I need to find out who this partner is.
Okay, so I gotta get out of here.
Good. Undetected.
Okay, I need to get out of here so that I can
Takeda
return.
Motoaki is behind the music. He is the one we seek. Lord Nagahide should know where to find him.
Shit, I'm gonna get seen. Oh, gracias. Voy. Yeah, you give people freedom to do stuff and they're immediately going to do TNA. They're immediately going to do TNA content. And that's why you just can't. You cannot give people freedom to do that kind of stuff because they will absolutely abuse it. All right, I'll be right back. Breakfast is served, so we're gonna take a minute here to eat breakfast. We got some like quesadilla type things this morning, and then we're gonna get back to it. So we'll take our break for our morning mukbang, right? Ah. It's funny, I'm hearing animals in game, and it sounds a lot like my ducks in the backyard. Two steps ahead, Gary. 2 steps ahead. If you know, you know. There you go, Devon. Motivation. You can look forward to something delicious in a couple hours. Salivate. This has got some crunchy garlic inside. Nom nom nom. Someone had said something earlier. We're going to talk about this while we eat. Said, what about the people who like were really big streaming Destiny or Destiny 2, right? And what's up with those people now? Well, that's a perfect example of why I made a decision very early on to not be a single game streamer and instead focus on multi-streaming, or not multi-streamer, but variety streamer. Because if you tie yourself to one game, that game might run for 10 years, it might run for 5 years, it might run for 20 years. You just don't know. And if you tie yourself to one game or one company, then your success or failure is largely tied to that game or company. There are so many, like, look at the WildStar streamers, you know. Or you could tie yourself to a game that just doesn't go anywhere. EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, great games, fundamental to the founding of MMORPGs. Zero growing audience, despite the fact that those are still games that continue to operate. Well, I appreciate that, Devon. Well, some of those people didn't, just a pinch. Thank you, sweetie. Huh? A little bit more. Thank you. 1 second. Sorry, Chris was like, I forgot to put salt. I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't going to say anything. She brought me a plate of salt. Thank you. Didn't Ninja start on Destiny or Destiny 2, or was it Halo? I forget where he started. Um, EverQuest can still draw some decent numbers. You could draw 100 people watching you do an EverQuest stream, but the problem is you're never going to grow beyond 100 people because there's not that many people who play that game. It's kind of a neckbeard crowd of people who are just getting older as time goes on, so the game isn't drawing a new audience. Well, to some degree, this is normal if you're going to be a streamer full time, especially if you're doing variety content. Like, go watch CoCarnage if you've never done this before. CoCarnage will play a game that has 25,000 people watching him one day. The next week, he's playing something where he's only getting 1,200 people watching him live. That's the equivalent of me having 100 people today, and then tomorrow I've got 12. You know what I mean? Like, so even CoCarnage is dependent upon the games that he plays because his audience doesn't necessarily always want to watch the same thing. So some of that, numbers being big one day, numbers being bad the next day, are going to be normal. But especially if you only stick to one game, that thing's going to lose its potency over time because people are going to get bored and want to watch something else. For my channel, I get about 2 weeks. I get about 2 weeks before people get bored and want to watch me play something else. And that's statistical analysis after 3 years of doing this. We usually start to peak about a week before a game comes out. If there's an early access period or like a head start period, that's like 3 days. You get very good traffic then. Game goes live, you get about a week to 10 days after the game goes live, and then after about 10 to 12 days, the viewership starts to tank. At least for me and my channel. So I only get about 2 weeks max for any game I play. If a game takes me longer than 2 weeks, I guarantee you I will have 50% less viewership. So if I start off with like 120 people watching live during the early access period, I'll have 50 or less by the time I finish the game. And some of it is just because I have wild bedhead hair, right? Probably supposed to put a hat on. It does kind of depend on the game, though, Dribrom. Like, some games have a big enough audience that they can still get views like that. EverQuest is not one of those games. Gran Turismo is. Anybody who plays, like, FIFA is probably going to maintain good viewership. Alright, a bunch of people just joined. I need to scroll up because I was eating breakfast. United, what's up? Good morning. Ghostwalkers, good up. Good morning. Etc. Good morning, everybody. I have the hiccups now because I horked my breakfast. Yes, your allies walk around the hideout. They absolutely do. Somebody asked me who my favorite hideout, favorite ally is. It's the chick who like stuns targets. I forget her name. Okay. Do I need to refill anything? No, that's not her. The big chunky girl who stuns targets. She's my favorite.
Lord Nagahide should know something about the Takeda clan. Maybe he can help.
Did you add something new to the broth?
Maybe.
Did you find him? And are you ready to take him down?
We are ready.
We have a name. It is time to end his blood trail.
So, it is time to start cooking.
It's Takeda Motoaki, the one we're after.
The proud Takeda. They were mighty once, but their fortunes here declined after the Asakura ousted them from Nochseyama Castle, which Lord Nobunaga then gave to me. Those who lust after power will never abide quietly by what they have lost. We must be certain before we act. What leads to this conclusion?
The pirate Samemaru works for a man called the Performer. They are meeting here in Obama.
From that, you guess it to be Takeda Motoaki?
There's more.
The performer. So, does that make me the noodle man?
Go on. What did you learn there?
Your family in
The
Tsuga
Noodle
was
Man.
attacked. They knew something about the Biwa tune heard at each ambush. From there, I went to Saifukuji Temple. I was told someone there would know more. I met a master of the Biwa. He played the same melody and said that only Takeda Motoaki would know the tune.
It makes sense. He wants to take it all back. Nochseyama Castle and Wakasa.
Voices whisper that the Takeda are back on the rise.
That is why he is trying to put an end to your clan, Lord Nagahide.
I cannot afford to wait for him to come after my family again. I will dispatch my samurai.
And leave your belly exposed like a fish?
We have our own questions for Motoaki. Let us bring him to his end.
Very well. I trust that this will be done with discretion.
Of course, my lord.
Takeda Motoaki resides in the samurai district. I will look for you when it is done.
I do not think we are meant to climb buildings so quickly.
We are if we are skilled. Takeda Motoaki, cast out by a greater power, consumed by bitterness, out on a bloody path of revenge.
You have chosen a different path.
Let's focus on Motoaki. His clan still holds support in these parts.
And Samemaru, large, brash, with a scar on his face. Samemaru, a pirate and a slaver. Sons, daughters, mothers, and fathers headed onto ships like animals.
Samemaru will pay, once we are finished with Motoaki. We know he is here somewhere.
You take care of Motoaki. Fate has delivered this one unto me.
What? No,
Samemaru
Yasuke,
is
we need...
mine. I will find you later.
Okay. We are not being given a choice with this one.
Motoaki's men are chasing Samemaru as well. But why? There, the slave for Samimaru.
Damn it. No, no, hang on, hang on. It forced me. Hang on, hang on.
You cannot
Stop it.
run forever. I must not let him get away. Samimaru!
Oh, it's not gonna let me. What did you just do? His ability failed because he went to go use it on the other guy, and the other guy's like hiding in the woods. That was stupid.
Even fights like a samurai. The one they will find it amusing.
How do you know that name? How do you know that name? Tell me!
I got him locked in the corner.
To be picked up by the order like a stray dog.
Shut your mouth!
There we go. So that guy who's back there in the woods is bugging my ability out. Because it keeps wanting to switch to him when the camera is panned in that direction. Yeah, there he is. So yeah, that was bugged. Slightly buggy.
I'll give you this round.
That name, Duarte. How do you know it?
Who? Who put that sword in your hand, foreigner?
If I have to ask twice, you will find out.
No soy malo.
You
Ven
think
aquí, Frodo.
this frightens me?
Bien, Frodo.
I've
¿Qué
had
hace?
sharper knives
Ah,
at
amor,
my
puedes
throat,
tomar esto.
and they demanded my silence.
Necesita la toalla ya por él.
Anything else? My favorite drink. Oh, how many cocoa rice?
I gotta go put a towel on the bed for my kitty cat. Well, for Christina's kitty cat. Oh, she's gonna do it. Okay.
Damn.
I heard her outside. She was like, Daddy's bad. He's not letting you in the office. Daddy put you in the box this morning. It's because he was being a naughty boy.
I'll need to look around for Takeda Motoaki. Find out anything I can about him.
También él estaba usando la de tapa de ahumada aquí ayer. Él y Smigo, los dos. Sí. Y el pescado, no sé dónde está el pez. In Wakasa, Samurai Yashiki District. Over here somewhere. Let's just head in that direction. He's over there, I think. Are you Japanese, Dark Conan? So my question to that would be, how do you know that they would react to him in a racist manner? Like, we have no idea how Japanese people reacted to people of color during that region, because only really in the US have we ever really seen that type of racism, if that makes sense. There have been plenty of examples of people reacting to him strangely because of his color, but not in a racist manner. It's more been along the lines of, oh, wow, you're different. But I don't think I would assume for a moment that they would automatically react to him and, oh, you're a slave. You're black. You're inferior. Now, the Portuguese for sure. The Portuguese for sure, because they literally captured him as a slave. So it would be absolutely valid to say that the Portuguese react to black people in a racist manner.
That servant, she works for Takeda.
That would be the defining difference.
That tune, the biwa. Takeda Motoaki is close.
Yeah, the inquisitive nature is much different than a
four-cluster
racist
diamonds
nature.
Of the Takeda clan. I am on the right path.
Okay. Are you an expert on this time period? I'm not an expert on this time period. I wouldn't claim to make that judgment, personally.
The biwa. It stopped.
I think until I hear an expert on Japanese history and culture of that time period speak on the matter, I personally wouldn't be making any claims about whether or not something is racist or not, because I just don't know the historical accuracy.
Quiet. Could this be Takeda Motoaki's room?
Ooh, he's not here anymore. Yeah, I don't think racist is the right term to be using for sure. I think because I've definitely seen the way other characters react to Yasuke, and it's been like, oh wow, you're not from around here. How did you become a samurai? You're not really. There's no way you could be a samurai. How did you get that sword? Oh, you were actually gifted this sword. Oh, maybe I do need to have respect for you. But I don't think I've seen anybody here react to him. Nor do I know that that would be the right way to react.
The memories persist. Oh, old castle within my dreams. Until we meet again.
You're too attached to that castle, Takeda Motoaki. Your biwa master taught you better.
I did not expect you to care much for music, Shinobi. All that drives your ilk is blood. So, you met the biwa master. He is dear to me. It is a tragedy that we do not share the same ideals.
Your ideals of taking innocent lives are not shared by most.
Hang on, Chris is asking me something. What's up? No, solo necesito loratadina por mis alergias. Un caminato pequeño. ¿En dónde? Ah, antes, ¿dónde compraste antes? Okay. Yeah, a las 9 or 10. No, oh, I forgot to take my vitamins. Shit, I'm gonna take them on top of my food. All right, thank you. Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back, everybody. Anyway, Atari DC, exactly that. Any game studio that's making a game in the modern era has to be conscious of exactly what you just said. because they anticipate having an international audience. So even if there was racism against his character in that time period, they would not want to portray that against his character in a heavy-handed way, because there are going to be many black people, many black children, many children of different indigenous backgrounds who would be playing this game, and they don't want those people to be subjected to racism, even though it's important to understand that that has been a problem in certain parts of the world systemically. So yeah, there's always going to be, that's why these are not, I always remind people, these are video games. These are not games that are about being historically accurate or anything else. That being said, traditionally speaking, Ubisoft does a great job at
two sides to every tale.
working with cultural and historical
Have you considered
experts
both?
on their projects. But there is always going to be some creative liberties taken, because we're not creating a history documentary. We're creating a video game. I think Dribram said, as an example, there is no reference to Yasuke being an actual samurai. So they took some creative liberties with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's like I could take the character of Sherlock Holmes and do whatever I want with him. I could take creative liberties with that character.
I fight for the people, to rid the land of rogue warlords who make peace impossible.
Admirable, but misguided.
You slaughter the blameless and exploit the poor, but sleep with the guiltless heart.
How many lives have they taken? How much despair have they wrought? When my clan was driven from Nochiseyama Castle, who moved to defend us? As I watched my walls burn and the light fade from my beloved's eyes, who then slept with the guilty heart? There was no mercy then. I expect none now. The only justice in this world is the justice that we make.
I understand your thirst for revenge, but hatred does not make things right.
Says the girl
You
pursuing
do not
people out of hatred for
understand.
what they did to her father.
I fight not out of hatred, but to make things right.
Oh, he's gonna block my assassinations. Jesus, dude.
Come, show me the hatred.
Fuck, I missed.
Towards the rock side. I will make this right.
Oh, I missed!
This is my time to die. If this is my time to die, then I will take you with me. My castle. So beautiful in this night. Everything I did for you.
Then why work with them? The names on this list, they are all murderers, raiders, slavers.
I used every weapon I had to save that which I loved most. Tell me you wouldn't do the same.
She's doing exactly the same thing as him.
My biwa. Return it to my master. All I have left is my song. And I will take it with me.
Excuse me.
Now
Should have muted my mic before I cleared my throat.
is he?
Takeda Motoaki lies dead.
All right. He was misguided, yeah.
He was not evil, not entirely. He loved Wakasa in his own way.
I did not know you could rank evil, measure it, and weigh it upon a scale. 1,000 thanks to you both for your commendable deeds. Wakasa is safer for it. Peace may be yet within reach.
What happened with Samemaru?
Lord Nagahide, if you will excuse us, we must take our leave.
As will I. When you can, look for me. We have something to discuss.
Yasuke, I've never seen you so upset.
Duarte. Naue, I need your help to find this man.
Who is he to you?
Please. I just help me. Please.
You can tell me. I will listen.
I will. But this is something I must deal with alone. For now.
I'm gonna keep playing as Naue
Many
for a little bit.
faces and names pass through the port at Obama. They might yield something. Thank you, Naue.
Because I need to double check on like my levels and gears and other stuff. Oh, we need to go back and do an upgrade.
A strong smell. Naretsushi is an acquired taste.
Ooh, I got a
Some of my-
new... What is with all the posture attack weapons? Every single one of these legendary weapons I've gotten has a posture thing that I could give two shits about. I don't care about posture attacks. So I'm just going to keep using this one. What level am I now? 38. I don't need to upgrade yet. I should be okay to switch to Yasuke. This game is beautiful, yes. Yasuke has a journey quest, which we should definitely go work on. Yeah. Ubisoft definitely cooked with this game. Ain't no actual gamer hating on this game. The only people hating on this game are trolls. Dr. State Farm says, so glad to find someone who likes the game. Thank you very much. And yes, we do like this game. I play games for fun. I don't play games to hate. Although I will occasionally critique games. We're going to have to go play some more Division 2 soon as well, because I got a bunch of game key codes from the Ubisoft team that I need to give away. So, as soon as we wrap up Death Stranding, we'll probably go do some more Division 2. I think we'll be done with that by the end of the week. The tournament? What's that? Casa in Obama. In the trading port. Oh, there was a merchant here that I didn't check as well. I don't know that we have a date for the next expansion of Division 2, but I had a great time. We just played it for a few weeks. We did the level 1 to 60 grind, played the base game and the Warlords expansion. Took me about 3 weeks, I think, to go from start to finish. Had a great time. It's a phenomenal live service game. There's a ton of stuff to do. For sure.
I must be ready for a fight here. It is harder than it looks.
I will send you to your ancestors.
Oh, I missed. Get in there, big boy.
Another false alarm, I'll bet.
I will fight to the end.
Signals. The ships will look for a signal. I will look around.
Cannot take me. I am old, withered. I cannot work. Starving is better than living by their rules.
You are very cute.
Too weak. It is the young ones who must worry. Not me. Not me.
This must be one of the signals.
Well, if they're just along the port, there's a second one. There's the third one, I think. No, I don't see the third one.
One more to light. And Duarte de Melo is mine.
Yeah, the question is, where's the third one? Oh, there it is. I see it. I need more coffee.
That was the last one. Now I will find somewhere to wait.
want to rob one of these sloops and just cruise around the
I
coast.
cannot let Duarte get away.
People who don't like coffee are rare and far between, Gustav. It is a universally loved drink. It is weird to meet someone who's like, ew, coffee, gross. Don't trust them. That's all I'm going to say. Don't trust those people.
They come. I have you now, Duarte.
United. I like all coffee flavored products, but I don't drink coffee. Well, at least you consume coffee products. That's at least a partial win.
The coward is not here. I must find his ship.
Look! Captain is on the shore. Probably talking to us.
So look at the, if you look at the bay really quick, you know those glowing squids? They're all over the bay right now, which I think is a really cool touch. Oh, damn it. It failed. Oh, there it went. That ability is really picky when there's not somebody in range and it goes off. You know what?
Duarte's ship. There is a boatman who can take me to him.
Anyway, this is what I was pointing at when I rolled up in here. The glowing squids or fish or something in here. We've seen that natural phenomenon in the real world. Really cool. Coffee black. Coffee black. Coffee black is the only answer. Driprom, shush you. Milk is not allowed. No, I drink coffee black in the morning. My afternoon espresso has sugar and milk in it. But my morning coffee is always black. I do prefer black coffee. Coffee and milk for me is like if I'm gonna do it, I need sugar in it as well, and it's like a dessert for me. Oh, we have to interrogate him.
Please don't hurt me.
Duarte.
My wife is a cream in her coffee kind of girl. Like her coffee, no sugar, just cream or milk in her coffee first thing in the morning. She'll do sugar in the afternoons for our espressos, but yeah. Chocolate and coffee, Dribrom says. I've never tried chocolate and coffee. That does sound pretty good though. I've done chocolate with coffee, not chocolate in my coffee. Like a chocolate bar with coffee is delicious. Now you're making me want to try coffee, like coffee, chocolate in coffee. That does sound pretty good. Black coffee is the best, Chris. I agree. Layla says cappuccino without sugar.
What did I say?
Any coffee drink is a good coffee drink. Let's just put it that way. I will make fun of lots of things, but coffee is coffee. If you at least enjoy coffee, you're a trustworthy person. Just don't trust the people who don't drink coffee. Duarte de Mello, a Templar.
You remember me.
I remember your face. I never forget a face. And all the things one can do to it.
Where is Nuno Caro?
Even you can make allies, it seems. I received word about my ventures, foiled by a shinobi. To think they would ally themselves with one of your kind.
You will speak no more. Not of me, not of my allies.
Have you come to kill me?
You remember my face, but today you will remember my name. I will make you feel the pain of those you have touched.
Hang on. Why do I have an alarm set for 8 o'clock this morning? Hang on, I gotta go check my Google calendars here real quick, because I have an alarm that was gonna go off in a couple minutes, and I need to know why. Oh, okay, I know why. Gotta pay my quarterly taxes this month, and it's the April 1st. So my Google Calendar was like, hey! Dude, I want a pistol in my offhand and like a rapier in the main hand.
You're trying to kill me.
His pistol glowed red. That was kind of dope. Ah!
Curse the idiot. Put that weapon in your hand.
This deck is really confusing to try to fight him on, because we keep getting, like, stuck in the environment.
How does it feel?
Shut your damned mouth!
I don't really like
Revenge is
Nutella
go.
that
Just
much.
like death.
Or at least I don't care for it in the way that some people do.
Where is Nuno Caro?
It's too sweet.
wants to
I do
know.
like hazelnut though,
Where
but not with my coffee.
is Nuno Carlo?
Unless it's like a
You are
sweet
no
bread. Like if
one.
it's hazelnut cream or something
Sad,
inside of a bread with my
nameless
coffee,
nothing.
that's acceptable.
Who thinks they stand for something. You are simple, boring, predictable, dull. Just like her.
Oh, he's probably talking about my ex-wife or something. Yeah, that's my take on it. It is good, United, but it's so sweet that I have a problem with it. It's like, yeah. First time we've gotten a flashback about Yasuke's past.
Just like you, does not deserve a name.
Does not deserve a name.
My name is Yasuke.
Why?
Go. There is nothing left for you here. A symbol. Templars. What is that?
Oh yeah.
I cannot
Plot
make
thickens.
sense of this, but I know who can help.
Now I got a new amulet. No.
I'm going back to the rice field.
Hang on. Chris is yelling something. Cat dad problems. All right. With more questions than answers, Yasuke seeks out an old friend in Yamashiro in southern Kyoto in the Jesuit residences. Speaking of cookies, I tried those. They were absolutely despicably gross. So I like Chris and I kind of like normal Oreos aren't too bad, right? From time to time. They're not the best cookies in the world, they're not the worst cookies in the world. But they started doing all those special flavor Oreos last year, and we went ahead and tried the Coca-Cola Oreos because they were on sale. We were like, let's grab a pack and see what they taste like. They are absolutely disgusting. They do not taste anything like Coca-Cola. It tasted like Oreos filled with dirt. I've had the lemon-filled Oreos. The lemon-filled Oreos aren't too bad, but the Coca-Cola ones were like, bleh. Coca-Cola Jaffa Cake sounds amazing. But I like Jaffa Cakes, so... Haven't had one in years, but... That's probably your hint not to eat more than 4 United. Yeah, Danny, the Coca-Cola Oreos are absolutely disgusting. We did not finish the pack either. It got thrown away in the trash. It was just not good at all. Now, I've enjoyed a lot of the other like weird Oreo flavors they've done, but not the Coca-Cola ones. Those were just bleh.
Did my eyes deceive me? Time has robbed us of each other, my friend. I had hoped dearly that we would meet again.
I feel the same.
We did not talk much when we last met. Circumstances were difficult, so to speak. But look at you now, a samurai in your own right. To think this is your reality.
Much has happened since.
I'm just a big fan of anything with like caramel or
Things have been
orange.
trying since Lord Nobunaga's death.
I like
The road is
marmalade.
unbalanced, and no one knows from which direction the next army will come. But I have been keeping above ground. Oh, I have also been hearing rumor of an interesting duo. The shinobi and the samurai, causing no small chaos in this land.
After Lord Nobunaga's death, I have been running with a band of, allies, you could say. We are a varied mix, but we share ideals.
It is tragic how he left us. To put your trust in their own hands.
I will forever be indebted to Lord Nobunaga, he who honored me. At the very least, he found death the way he wanted to.
As much as we wish to be the masters of our fate, Christ has his own grand designs. Why have you come to me? I take your return to Kyoto as no coincidence.
I found a letter. I cannot fully understand it, so I was hoping you could tell me.
It is an oath to the Templar Order.
You know them?
See, I have heard of them when I was in Italy. The Pope and 3 great houses were involved. The House of Borgia was one of them.
Yeah.
Prominent noble
The House of
family.
Borgia. Ah, this is
They
the
caused
throwback.
a lot of turmoil in Rome. Their thirst for power nearly ruined the city. I was there before I worked with Valliano.
What happened to them?
Eradicated, mysteriously. They say a secret organization put an end to their conspiracies, but not much is known. This letter is addressed to Eduard de Mel. Does this name mean anything to you?
He was a slaver. Someone who did not deserve the mercy of death.
What happened to him?
I ended his life.
Was he someone you knew?
He was someone from my past. Another demon.
It says here that someone called Kimura Kai is training a group of secret warriors at a school in Ki. They will serve someone called Nuno Kar.
Karo.
You know this name?
I worked for him. Before you and I met.
Ah, I remember when we pulled you out. That piece of wood you were drifting on was at the end of its life.
It is good that you found me, Luis. Let us leave it at that.
Even more fortunate for us. You were a great asset to Valliano. You've never painted a clear picture of how you were left floating in the open sea as you were.
I was on a ship with a few others. It was destroyed.
Well, safe to surmise that this Duarte de Mello and Nuno Caro are part of the Templar Order.
Then I must find this Kimura Kei.
There is a link back, correct. All right, so let's see here. We need to go to Ki in the central Nakahechi route, looking for the Takahara village. Cherry blossoms. Yeah, the whole everything. I love the seasons here. So this quest right here, I guarantee you this quest, Valuable Reflections, and this quest, Feast for Thought. I've been gathering random food objects and random valuable objects from locations, and all it has ever told me is this is a quest item, but I've never had a quest for that thing. I think those two quests are related to those objects that I've been finding with Naue for like the entirety of the game that I've been playing. We'll have to check those out in a bit. Right now I want to finish on Yasuke's journey. I don't really have much down in Key. Central Nakahechi route, which we have not been to, so we can probably hit this place up, travel in. Oh, actually, let's hold that thought. We're gonna come in from. We'll go here. Damn it. Alright, time to make a trek. I still want to know who comes through here and lights all the damn torches, man. That's one of those unrealistic things in video games that you're never going to get an answer to, because every video game does that. Just pathways through the woods or canyons lined with torches that magically stay lit. Suspend your realism, sir. Stop worrying about it. But every once in a while it trickles up to the top of the brain and it's like, but why? How? Suspension of belief. Suspension of disbelief. Oh, what's here? Is this a sword, dude? Yep.
I never learned formally in the halls of any spear school, but what I do know was proven in battle. Honed on the blood and bone of my enemies. I sense your journey was not so different. Perform
Somebody
this
needs to make a
kata
song about the
and show
torchlight
me
men,
your
Layla.
heart.
Bo Durham could make a song about the torchlight men. Thank God I automated this, because there ain't no way I want to sit there and click through all those. John Magnus says, level 34, finally reached level 6 in the Mastery Tree. Hard work. It is hard work. I haven't gotten to Mastery level 6 yet. I don't even think I've hit level 5 yet. I think I've, like, maybe, but I'm not actively trying to. Oh, it's skipping that first one. We need to go here first, sir. Damn it, I misclicked all over the map. I'm like misclicking. I think I'm like halfway through. I need 4 more to get to rank 4. Oh shit, I've got 30 points I need to spend. Jesus. I'm not using Power Dash at the moment though, so... I got a whole bunch of points that I need to say that I need to spend, so I probably need to go get my next rank at some point, because I got like 27 points that I don't really need to spend. Unless I want to do the passives, like for extra damage and stuff. Nah, I don't care about that ability. My coffee's wearing off. Got stuck on the trees.
If I am seen, they will come for me.
Pretty impressive port or something down there. Woo. You can. You can totally chop through underbrush and obstacles. Most things like bushes and things, I don't think these count. There you go. Yeah, like there's a bunch of bushes. Yeah, we're chopping bushes down, right? You could totally chop the cover. There, they just disappeared. So you can totally chop cover bushes down. You can chop bamboo down. Nope, like these. Just takes them a minute to get cleared. The animation takes a minute for them to fade. There it is. You'll hear the audio effect, and the bushes will move a little bit, and then they disappear. But it's not everything. Like, I don't think you can cut, like, you can't cut down all the trees. You can only cut down, like, bamboo trees. It's like here. But you can totally cut down anything that can be used as cover can be destroyed. Boxes, crates, bushes, all that stuff can be destroyed. I don't know about these, though. Like, some things are indestructible. Oh, look, I just cut down that small tree. So, yeah, lots of things can be destroyed. A serious gamer gets coffee intravenously. I probably would if I weren't married. My wife would say no to that. I've already had my 3 cups for the morning and they're wearing off. It also doesn't help that I have an alarm set for 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's like when the coffee starts wearing off, it's like, and it is totally true what they say. If you wait to drink your first cup of coffee, if you wait like 2 or 3 hours to drink your first cup of coffee, you don't have the coffee crash. I don't wait. I take naps every day. But the crash is happening in real time. Ooh. I do wish you could use sword attacks from the back of the horse, though. That would be cool. Not a big deal that you can't, but it would be a lot cooler if you could. Boop, 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 boop. Got to get those keys for the predatory cash shop that we have barely looked at because it's so predatory that it's never in my face, and I didn't even know it was in the game till I was 30 hours in. It's just so predatory.
You, please. I need your help.
Never trust a lady on the side of the road asking for help in the middle of nowhere, because I guarantee you she's not alone. Red Dead Redemption 2 taught me that. Ooh.
I must be ready for a fight here.
Oh? Now get back up, bro. Oh, treasure! And this is why energy drinks make so much money off of streamers. Oh, I'm gonna have to get Now Way, I think, maybe to get up here. Because I don't think I can do the whole, I can't jump up on the ledge, I don't think. Yeah, he can't jump up on the ledge. I'm gonna have to go get Now Way. Oh, he missed! Good job.
If I'm seen, I'll have to fight my way out.
Come on, you were just up there. There you go. Okay. Have I spent all her points? I mean, I don't really care about the ability damage so much. We're maxed out, I think, over here on the assassination tree. That might actually be useful. Oops. All right, back to Yasuke, and we gotta. I think we're gonna have to burn some scouts to find this guy. An inn along the central route. So there's stuff back over here. Let's try it and see. Nope. There's also an inn. There we go. Where's my horse? better get your butt up here.
Hand over everything you've got. Now.
Man, I think this is the most I've found in a single session. Usually it's like one every 6 hours or so, and I found 3 of them like within an hour. Nope, I never went to Japan in my travels. It is the one of 2 places that Chris has on her bucket list. She wants to go to Japan and she wants to go to Egypt. So at some point we'll go. Not anytime soon. Like, we won't be able to travel for probably a decade because of all the animals.
According to Louis Froy's, the hunt for Kimura K starts here. I need to find his hidden training grounds.
Ooh, do you sell a tea set, lady? Sir?
My bones will...
Yes! No, he doesn't sell a tea shot. Damn it. Tea set, sorry. Would have been a lot cooler if he did.
May the winds guide you back to my shop.
Thank you, sir.
Perhaps I will find answers in there. Sake has a habit of loosening tongues.
More Ronin arrive here.
Judging by your attire, you once served the Oda clan.
As did you. Yasuke is a name that needs no introduction, even if you were to wander these lands naked.
Clothed or unclothed. Without Lord Nobunaga's intervention, I might well be a distant memory by now.
I could say the same. Yet, I often find myself questioning if I'm truly here.
You stand before me. Is that not proof of life?
I stand. I speak. I breathe. These are functions of the body, not the spirit.
Functions of the body, not the spirit.
Lord Nobunaga's death weighs heavily on us all. But we keep going.
Thank you, Yasuke. I already feel more at ease. Now, what brings you here?
I seek the one they call Kimura K. Do you know him?
By reputation only. There's a man in his service, Kumabe Ujie. He recruits Ronin at a cemetery at Koyasan.
What kind of man is he?
More of a talker than a fighter. As is the case with such men. His words shouldn't be trusted, yet might prove useful nevertheless.
Thank you for your help.
Caution, Yasuke. They say Kimura K creates a new breed of warrior. Upon his order, these men will attack without hesitation.
Should they do so in my presence, it would be an unfortunate mistake.
Booyah.
What's that?
Alright, so that, before I forget, I need to, I wanted to go watch these videos with folks. There's a thing I want to take a look at. Because this is, my brother is really into RuneScape, and, I guess yesterday they announced...
More Ronin arrive here.
Hang on, I better pause the
day
game
by
in the
day.
background, otherwise I'm going to hear people talking while we're doing this. I want to go watch this really quick. There we go. Alright. So. Let's see here. So this was announced yesterday with some teaser trailers and other footage. I guess they got a big reveal coming on the 15th, which is going to drop more information. And I'm assuming the early access date, because it is coming to early access on the PC. It's called RuneScape Dragon Wilds. Let's go take a look at this. This is the teaser trailer, and then there's a gameplay trailer, so we're going to watch both of these. It's like a co-op survival game. Like a modern version of RuneScape. That's the teaser. It looks kind of super interesting. And this is that was like the teaser, and this is like a closer to 2-minute long look at things. So I think people who enjoyed like Enshrouded, Valheim, and the original RuneScape. It's got some beautiful environments. It's, obviously got an art style all of its own. Yeah, my brother has played a ton of RuneScape, Layla. I dabbled a little bit. I was too busy with like EverQuest 2 and stuff. But I will be playing this. It looks like a lot of fun, so. They said April 15th is the announcement of like, all the details. But I gotta say, this right here looks really good. So that's RuneScape Dragon Wilds, which is out. You can wishlist it now. They did say on the 15th of April, Jagex is doing like a big more information stream. So I'd assume we're going to learn a lot more about gameplay, possibly a launch date, because this is apparently going into early access in spring of 2025 on the PC and Steam, which would mean sometime in the next couple of months. I'm intrigued. Definitely going to be looking into this more and potentially playing this. We don't know exactly for sure when it's, more information coming soon. Because we're also getting that Star Wars RTS turn-based game reveal on the 19th. So we got a bunch of reveals happening this month. In any case, everybody, that's where the morning stream is going to end. We're a little bit shorter this morning because I've got to go run errands with Chris before the heat of the day gets here. We got to run to the pharmacy and go get some chicken and some supplies. So I will catch you guys later this afternoon for some more Death Stranding as we continue our way towards the end of that game. Thanks for hanging out this morning for some more Assassin's Creed Shadows. I will be back with more Shadows again tomorrow morning, bright and early. So if I don't see you this afternoon, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the support. YouTube and Twitch every single day at 5 a.m. Central. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.